Hello, everybody. Welcome. I see somebody liking it. Where are the rest of you guys? Welcome. We are going to be showing something very beautiful today, so you need to stick up. You need to come watch. How are you? Welcome, welcome, everybody. Welcome. Okay, welcome. How are you? I hope we are good. Today we're going to be making this dress, but I'm going to be using this fabric, so you can see. Okay, we're going to be using that fabric to do this together. We're going to be using that fabric to do this. So hopefully we have you guys see. Welcome everybody. Today I said to myself, let's go live even twice a day. There's no big deal, right? Welcome. Welcome. If you can hear me, say hi. Today, I want to try as much as possible to do everything really quick and fast. Quick and fast. If you can hear me, say hi. If you're watching from Facebook, if you're watching from YouTube, say hi. For me to go ahead and start, this is the fabric we're going to use in. You can mix it up if you want to, right? Just say hi. Say hi, everybody. I'm willing to start. Say hi. Say hi. So guys, say hi. So you can hear me. I'm happy that you can hear me right now. So what I have folded here is 1/4 of my bust measurement. I should check first of all, but this is more than 1/4 of my bust measurement. You know, you have to fold this into two, the fabric into two, making sure that we pin them up together. Hi everybody, I hope we're good today. So you should have, what I should have here should be 1/4 of my bust. Round bust is 34 divided by 4 is going to give me 8.5. Then I have at least 3 extra inches right there. Okay, so first of all, let me pull this up so we can really see what is being done at that part right there. So let me pull this up so that I can hold it up. Now I'm going to go ahead and quickly start. Like I said, we're going to try our best to do this thing as fast as possible. When we are actually cutting it on the fabric, we will not be able to cut it directly one shoulder, but we have to go ahead and first of all do the basic one, then we can cut that lesser on. Okay, so I'll start by drawing a start point, which is going to be my line, the shoulder line, which is right there, this one. Then I'm going to go ahead, I'll be taking shoulder measurement divided by 2. My shoulder measurement is 14 divided by 2 is going to give me 7. I'm going to just go ahead and mark that up. I will be slamming it down by 1 inch for the shoulder slope, which is right there. Then now I'm going to go ahead now, move to the armhole depth. Round armhole, if you don't know how to get the armhole depth, is by dividing round bust by 6, then you add 1.5 inch to it. For example, mine is 34. If I divide it by 6, it's going to give me 5 point something. Okay, so my round bust is 34 divided by 6 is going to give me 5.66. I'll go ahead plus 1.5. It's going to give me 7 point, let's just say, yeah, 7.16. I'll be using 7 for this, or I can just make it 7.5. It's still going to be good, okay? So that it should not be thicker. So I'm going to be using 7.5 for now. 7.5. And now, after marking that point up, I'm sorry if you can really see. If you cannot see, let me know. So I can try to change the chalk, but I think it's clear enough. All right. I'm going to go ahead, connect these points up like this with a straight line all the way from this point. Yeah, okay, it's visible enough. Now, we're going to go to the basic neck depth, which is normally 3 by 3 inch. If you don't know how to get the basic neck depth, if by dividing round bust by dividing round neck by 6, okay, whatever you have, you go ahead and just mark. I'm keeping this up so I can read comments. Mark that up. So I've just marked 3 here as a neck width and 3 as the neck depth. So I'm just going to go ahead, make sure that I connect these points up like this with the square. This is another method I've learned on how to go about that. Then I'm just going to go ahead and connect this curve up from here to here, a curve up. All right, from that point to this point. Now I'm going to go ahead now, connect this point up. This thing is even too big. I've connected that point on. I've connected my shoulder slope. Hello. I'm going to go ahead now, measure up whatever I have. See, which is 7.5 divided by 2 is going to give me 3.025 right there. I'm going to go in by 1/2 inch. Let me just go in by 1/2 inch. Then I'll come on the chest line. I'll put 1/4 of my bust measurement. Round bust is 34 divided by 4 is going to give me 8.5. I'll mark that point up. Then I'll connect these 3 points up together. First of all, like I said, first overall 3 points up together like this. I'm going to do from here to here. Now that we are done, this one is more visible. Let me see. Yeah, this one is more visible. Okay, let's see. I'm trying to zoom it a little bit so you can see actually what is being done. Now that we are done doing so, the next thing I want you to do is to go ahead to measure from the shoulder to the bust point. My shoulder to bust point is 10 inch. My shoulder to bust point is 10 inch. 10 inch. My shoulder to the under bust is 13.5 inch in my shoulder to the half length. I will be marking, my half length is normally 15 inch. I will mark that point up with a straight line. The half length is the waistline, okay? The under bust there, and in this part is not even straight. Let's see. This is not straight. This is supposed to be 7.5 inch. I just noticed how I'm going to clean that up. Ooh, how should I clean that up? I don't. Okay. I'm trying to. This part up here. It's not straight. Sorry. It's supposed to be the same. See, this is water. You can take that out. Yeah. Okay. Sorry about that. We just have to. I noticed I was not straight. It's kind of tricky. So I'm going to go ahead from this point. I'll just mark that my chest line. No, from this point, Anita. From this point, which is the, we landed it down by 1 inch. So I'm just going to do a straight line. Yeah, now we can get a straight line right there. It was here. All right. So let me quickly go ahead and reconnect this up. That was 1/4 of the bust, which is round bust divided by 4. Then we connected this point up like that. Okay. Now that I have marked this point up, you can leave me a comment at the comment section if in case you have any doubts. Okay, we have marked these points up now, and I have the chest line, the bust point line, the under bust, and the waistline, the half length. Okay, I'll go ahead now. Morning, madam, watching. Okay, so now that I have this mark up, I'm going to just go ahead now, mark my nipple to nipple. My nipple to nipple is 7 inch. 7 divided by 2 is going to give me 3.5. But because we're cutting this directly on our fabric, I'll be adding half inch to it. I'm going to come here and add, mark that half inch, which is we have 4 inch. I'm going to go ahead and connect it up with straight line. Now I'm going to do you can do 1 inch both sides, you can do 3/4 inch both sides, but remember that the skirt too has a dart. Whatever you mark from the skirt, you're supposed to do so at the skirt. Whatever you mark from the top, you're supposed to do so at the skirt. Okay, just to avoid any wahala. So I'm going to go ahead and mark, let's just say 3/4 inch. Yeah, 3/4 inch both sides. Okay, I'm going to come on the bust point line. I will go down by, you can go down up to 1 inch. I'm going down by 3/4 inch, depending on how bossy you are. I'll be going down by 3/4 inch. I would mark 3/4 inch here as well and do the same thing right there. Then I'm going to connect these points up like this. I'll do the same thing here. Then I'll quickly just go ahead now, connect these points up, but I'm not going to make it too curvy because we're not going to be adding any padding it up. So just a little bit of everything. Okay, now that I am done marking up my dart, this is a one shoulder, right? So I'm going to go ahead now. Good morning. I'm going to go ahead now, put my measurement. I will come on the bust line, that's the chest line. I'll put 1/4 of my bust measurement. Remember that we're supposed to add up our allowance for this. Okay, so I'll be adding up 1 inch on the chest line. I'll come on the other bust. I'm going to put 1/4 of the under bust. Round under bust is 30, right? Yeah, my round under bust is 30 divided by 4. Let me stop using the calculator. This is 30. It's 8 normally. 30. No, it should be 7.5. So this is 30 divided by 2 is going to give me 15. Divided again by 2 is 7.5. So I'm going to mark 7.5. 7.5. I'm going to go ahead and mark this up 7.5. But remember that we added 3/4 inch, making it 1.5. We're going to replace back up. We still need to go ahead and add up the 1 inch of sewing allowance. So you can either choose to use the same thing that you use on your arm and under bust on your waistline. It's just for me is the difference of 2 inch. Okay, I'm going to put my waist measurement, which is 28 divided by 2, is going to give me divided by 4, sorry, it's going to give me 7 inch. Then I'm going to go ahead and replace back the 1.5 inch. Then I'll be adding up 1 inch. You see, it's almost the same. Now at this point, if you check here that we have a little bit like this, I don't want to have that, so I'm going to go ahead and at least add half inch so that I'll be able to match everything up. Then at the end of the time, I can go ahead and minus that half inch that I've added right there, making sure I want to take this part off from here all the way to here like this with a straight line. Then now we'll be cutting this up. Okay, I'll be cutting that up, but remember that my half length, if you've not added up your sewing allowance, let's see, my half length here is supposed to be 16. Okay, my half length is normally 15 to 16, so maybe I will end up adding at least half inch. Yeah, 16. Let's just say my half length is 16. We're going to add half inch, making it 16.5. That half inch, we'll use it to join it to the skirt. So I'll be cutting this bit up. I'll notch it up here, and I'm going to notch it up here. Then I will cut. Remember that one side of it, we have to make it a little bit. I'm adding about half an inch here that I'll be needing to join it up. You know this, there is no, I mean, you know this, there is no like the back armhole, the one shoulder is same, okay? So I'm just going to go ahead now. I'll be adding half inch here. I'll be needing to join it up. Then I'm just going to go ahead and cut this up. We'll not be needing this. We're going to see why. Okay, this, I'm going to just place it on it and cut the back. But the only difference on the back is we'll be needing a zipper allowance. You know that, right? We'll be needing our zipper allowance. So I'm going to place this like this, making sure that I leave at least 1 inch here of zipper allowance, which is right there. My 1 inch of a zipper allowance. Then the rest is going to be cut seam. Then since we already added up half inch on my shoulder, just go ahead and cut this part up to here. I added half inch from there. Then I'm just gonna go ahead and notch this part too on the back too. Notch it too. Then this normally we're supposed to separate that up, but let me just notch this allowance right there and also notch it up. I know that this is my zipper allowance. Now, before we go ahead to cut up the skirt of it, we want to move this aside. Finish up cutting the front first. Okay, the top part of it. So this is what I've just put aside. This is what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead now, open it up. We'll open it up, right? Make sure that you're placing right side facing right side, or you place wrong side facing wrong side. My connection is very poor. So this is what we're going to do. Remember, I said one side of it we have an off shoulder, while the other, but why is this? Okay, yeah, because of the zipper allowance that is kind of bigger by 1 inch back. So assuming this is the back is like this, okay? You see, have a 1 inch. You're just going to go ahead and place it up like this. Remember I said they both are the same, and they're supposed to be the same. Nothing should change. Nothing should be changed. Why is this wide? Okay. Anyhow with this. Anyhow with this. So what we're going to do, one side of it, you notice that it has it's one shoulder. I don't know why this thing is kind of different. So one side of it, you notice that it has one shoulder. I'm going to make sure that that one shoulder that we have is not too that high. We can make ours a little bit higher than what we have. So I'm going to adjust one side of it so that it should fit up, especially this side that's not matching up. Now, and then if you notice that it has a little bit of sleeve, the other one is a show. You can, now I think this is one shoulder. Yeah, it's just a normal cut. Then you can add elastic puff sleeve there, okay, to attach it up. So this is what we're going to do. You want to come here like this, mark at least 1 inch. You check up what you have there. Is her own is wider, but I don't want mine to be too open. I'm going to come here. I will go out by 1 inch, 1 inch, yeah, 1 inch, exactly 1 inch, 1 inch. Then come at this side. I can come from here, this point, go down here by at least 3 inch, making it 6 inch, yeah, or 4 inch. This is my chest line. Let's just say, let me do, I don't want mine to be too open, so I'm doing 3.5 inch, making it 6 inch. Remember, first of all, the neck depth was 3 inch plus 3.5, making it 6.5. So this is what we're going to do. Connect these points up like this. Try to use your free hand. You can make it more deeper if you want. Connect it up like that, or you can do this up if you want this part up to be much deeper. If you don't want yours to start right at the armhole, like if you see what I am seeing there, it started something like this point here. There's a small elastic that hold up that other part. So like this. All right, so I don't want mine to be too down. Just whatever you choose, you can connect it all the way to this point. I've done several tutorials on a one shoulder, but not something like this. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut on this point like this. Making sure that my pins are out of the way. I'm removing my pin there. I want them to be out of the way so that I will not kind of destroy my scissors. Ooh. Okay. Okay, this is it. So we'll be adding our small little sleeve here. Now we're going to just go ahead. I notch up that allowance, so I'm going to go ahead and mark, just connect these points up like this, the chest, the under bust, the bust point. Okay, so from the bust point line, we're just going to come here like this part where we already notch, which is 1 inch. I'm going to come from the center. I don't know where the center, this was supposed to be 4. This is the center right there. So from here is 4. Then I'm going to just go ahead and mark 4. Okay, 4, remember, 4 inch. Just to make sure everything aligns up. Then from the bust point, I'm going to go down by 3/4 inch like we did. Then we'll just connect it up. We've already notched it up. This way is going to be more easier for us to join them up together. Why are we actually going down by that 3/4 inch is because we want to avoid from having any funny sharp around there. So because this part we folded it, we're going to quickly go ahead and place it up like this and adjust that up, or separate this up. Okay, so okay, I am just cross-checking everything up. Why is this one 4.5 inch? It's not supposed to be 4.5 inch, it's supposed to be 4 inch. we added up the zip allowance. Yeah, Anita. Okay. Even if we added the zip allowance is supposed to be 1 inch from here. 1 inch, then from there it's gonna be 4 inch. Yeah, exactly. Then I'm just gonna do my bust point, which is 10. From that point, I'm just gonna connect it up with straight lines. I'm gonna do like that. From the bust point line, normally we went down by 3/4 inch to avoid any pointed edges around there, or any point sharp edges around there. Okay, we connect. Okay, this. I'm taking it's half inch, and here it should be 4 inch. Yeah, 4 inch. I'm gonna come here, trace, just mark that up. Then I'll still just go ahead now and draw that bust point. Remember, we are working on the back now, 10 inch. Then from there we went down by 3/4 inch, which is this point. The 3/4 inch is here like this, like that. I'm gonna just connect this part up, and I'm gonna do this part up. Okay, now I can go ahead and separate this up. Oh, this is the back, right? I hope I'm not mistaken. Yeah, this is the back. This back is supposed to be 2. This is the front, which is supposed to be 1. Remember, when you're cutting this part, you should place them up together before cutting it up, because if not, you're going to cut it. It's either one is going to be facing the wrong direction, so you want to avoid that from facing the wrong direction. Okay, and this is the top part of it. We've not cut the sleeve yet. Let's cut off the skirt. The skirt is quite very easy. So my total length I'll be working with is 54. The total length I'm working with 54. I'm going to just go ahead and fold small fabric into 2. My total length I'm working is 54. We have already cut 16. Let's just say 16. I'm going to fold my fabric. What I should have folded should be 1/4 of my hip measurement. My round hip is 38 divided by 4 is going to give me 9.5. We still need some allowance to add there. Okay, let's see what I have there. 9.5. Then yeah, this part is good to go. The skirt is going to be easy for us to cut. So remember, I said my total length I'm working with is 54. So that 54 we've already cut 16 inch. We've already cut 16 inch. The laziness is doing me. I don't want to get up. Okay. Looking at the skirt, you notice that this dress, the downer part is a pencil one. We're trying as much as possible to manage your fabric. Yes. So now, like I said that we have already cut the half length, which is 16 inch. So I'm just gonna, my full length is 54. We're just gonna come here like this and minus that 15 inch from there. So I'll be starting from joy start point, which is going to be the waist. Now I'm going to go ahead and minus that 15 inch from there, 16 inch from there, which is right there. I already added my half inch. So I'm going to go ahead, I'll be marking half inch because I also need half inch to join it up to that point. Now let's see what we have there, if it is half inch. Yeah, we have up to half inch. Okay, so I'm going to minus that 16 inch. I'll go ahead now, mark from the waist to the hip depth. My waist to my hip depth is normally around 24, 23. Now I'm going to measure now from the waist to the length, which is 54, which is right there, 54. This is included with my hemming. Okay, together. Draw a straight line. I'm also going to go ahead and draw a straight line right there. Straight line. Okay, now that we are done drawing the straight line, I'm going to come on the waist. Here is the waist, here is the hip depth. I'll come on my waist. I'm going to put 1/4 of my waist measurement. Round waist I'm working with is 28. 28 divided by 4 is going to give me 7 inch. And mark that up. We'll be needing our 1 inch for our darts, 1 inch for the sewing allowance. Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and add my 1 inch for my dart. Or you can still do the same thing because you added 3/4 inch, 3/4 inch. So I'm going to be adding 1.5 inch for my darts. Then 1 inch for the sewing allowance. On the hip depth line, I'll put 1/4 of the hip. Round hip I'm working is 38 divided by 4 is going to give me 9.5. Normally, our dart we stop 2 inch from the hip. So I'm going to go ahead. I'll just add 1 inch. Yeah, let me do 1 inch, 1.5 inch here. Now let me do 1 inch. 1 inch is good. I'll say 1 inch. This chalk is finished. Okay, now that we are done doing so, we're just gonna go ahead and connect these points up like that. You can see. Okay. Now I'm going to put my nipple to nipple. Remember, we're cutting it directly on a fabric, so nipple to nipple is 7. Then I added half inch because we are cutting it directly on our fabric. Did I really added 3/4 inch, 3/4 inch? See how half inch I added? Okay, so I'm going to do here. I'll just come here. I'm doing the same thing so that it should match up with the top. I don't know if I did 3/4 inch, 3/4 inch both sides. Yeah, of course I did something. So I think so. Yeah, I did. Yeah, 3/4 inch, 3/4 inch both sides. Whatever you do, make sure that you repeat the same thing so that it should match up with the top. Now the skirt, I'm going to go down by 5 inch for the front, 5 inch, and I'm going to connect. I'm going to do, okay, now we have connected this part up. Now what we want to do So connect that part all the way straight downwards. Now you're going to be asking how we're going to do this. We'll measure up whatever we have on the hip here, which is 11.025. I'm going to come here 11.025. This is a pencil dress. Is not I mean, if you look at it, you notice that it's a pencil one. So I'm going to go ahead 11.025. I'll minus 1.025, making it 10 inch. Connected the point up. Now come here, may mark my 10 inch. I'm gonna just connect these points up like that, straight line, and see, the skirt is quite very easy, right? I'm gonna cut. I'm thinking, so I'll be cutting at least 1 inch because I'll be using a hemming gun to. I'll not be hemming to just for that part. So now, as what Kate says, you need to slant this down because you know the human shape is not actually straight. So I was going to need ½ inch here. Let me just put slant it by ½ inch. But that front for it to be really fitted. So I'm just going to go ahead and connect it from the side all the way to that point. Okay, now I'm going to be cutting this part. We have slanted it down by ½ inch, but because we'll be needing ½ inch to join it up, I'm going to just come here like this and cut like that. I will notch my dots right there and notch it up right here. Now we're going to be using this one to cut off the back. I'm going to go ahead and measure up, making sure that I have 1.5. 1.5 should give me 3/4 inch, yeah. 3/4 inch. I will draw that line up, go down by 5 inch. Okay, connect it up from here to that 5 inch that I went down, and here too. We're going to be using this part now to cut off the back of the skirt, which the only difference from the back is the zip allowance. So I'll still go ahead and fold again my fabric. Okay, into 2. Move this aside. Alright. The difference of the back is just the zipper allowance. That's just it. I'll place on my front knits. Like that. Like this. It's too much, so we need to just go ahead and do as tiny as possible. Okay, so I'm going to be adding 1 inch for the zipper allowance. 1 inch for my zipper allowance for the back. Okay, if you want, you can go ahead and add up lining to the dress too. So I've added 1 inch for the zipper allowance. That's said that's the only difference between the back and the front, the zipper allowance. Okay. So now, remember that we did slam the front down. This time around, we're not slamming the front. We're just gonna go ahead. The back, we're gonna cut that off. In some cases, you even have to go ahead in. Now, what I'm going to do right there is, what normally we do is to come here like this, but we have to do that including with the dress. So I'm going to come here, and this part I'll go in by 1/2 inch. I'll just go ahead and connect it all the way straight downward. That's just to avoid any kind of you see, I've just connected that one. So this is just to avoid any kind of looking those zipper bulges at the back, okay, so that should not be looking kind of funny, you know. I just cut about 1/2 inch, separate it up. We're still going to do so at the top too. I'm going to notch this part. Now let me go ahead and trace off my darts for the back too. 1 1/2. Right there. Then connect it straight down. For the back, we'll go down by 6 inch because of our right there. Then I'm gonna just go ahead and roll this up and connect this up. I'll do the same thing to the other side. Sorry, I'm using a yellow chalk, which you may not really see too well because the fabric too has yellow. So I'm gonna do connect with straight lines, go down by 6 inch, then connect from here all the way to this point, connect from here all the way to this other point. Now that we are done cutting both the skirts of the dress, like I said, you can add up lining to it, but I'm not going to be adding up lining to it. Adding up lining is going to take much fabric, much more fabric, but I'm not going to be adding lining to it. Like I said, I'm not going to be adding lining, and I'm not going to be adding lining. Let's check that here. Okay, what I have there is about, still have about 2 yards. So looking at the sleeve, you notice that it's a puff sleeve, okay? One shoulder is a puff sleeve for it. So having a puff sleeve is quite very easy to cut the sleeve, because what we're going to be needing later on is going to be an elastic that we're adding to it, okay? I love your video. Thank you. Good morning. How are you guys doing today? So we're gonna go ahead, fold like this. Like I said, a puff sleeve, you need to just gather it up like that. One side of it. Looking at the dress, you notice that it's a puff sleeve that we have, but not too much of puff sleeve. So let me check what I have there. I don't always like to come and mix up this. So a puff sleeve is like that. So this is what we're gonna have, like puff up. Okay, let's see what we have here. So first of all, what I'm going to do, assuming that so let me check I want to be able to cut the both sleeve as well. Huh? Now, okay, this is what we're going to do. I'll draw the start point here. The start point here. What I have there, what I have here is about 18 inch by 2, 36. Okay. Now you need to go ahead, take round this part, the upper arm, like this. You can measure it up. You can multiply that by 2. No, multiply it by 3. So I have 11 inch. 11 by 2 is 22. Okay. 22. Now I'm going to go ahead again, fold it over like this. Now I'm going to add again 11 inch to it. All right. Which is going to give me 33. 33. That's by 3 already. We have, what we have here is about 18. So it's good to go. We have 18. Oh shit. 18 is good to go. So I'm just gonna increase a little bit more. If you want it to be more puffy, you can go ahead and do multiply that by 3. Right, that's just it. So I've just drawn a straight point. Now this is what we're going to be doing. Okay, I am going to put my sleeve cap. I'm going to come here, measure it. The sleeve cap, my sleeve cap is 4 to 5 inches, normally between 4 to 5 inches. If you don't know how to get a sleeve cap, go ahead, divide round bust by 12. Whatever you have, you add half inch in. So I've just connected that point up like this. Now I'll go ahead, take round armhole divided by 2. My round armhole divided by 2 is going to give me 7 right there. Then now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just let me not do so. Let me take you guys step by step. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to connect this point, to this angle right there. I wanted to just go ahead and connect it up. Now measure up this line, divide it by 2, which is, let's just say it's 9 inch. Divided by 2 is going to give me 4.5. From this point up here, come in by at least 3 inch. Measure up whatever you have from here and divide it by 2, which is going to give us 2.025. You come down by half an inch. Now this is what I'm going to do. From that 3 inch that I went in, you want to pass this point. If you want, you can go up here by 3/4 inch normally. Come here from this point up here, bring it up, pass it up like that, and bring it up here like this. But we're not making it too deep. Like, you see what I've just done there, right? A little bit. Now, because this is a normal sleeve, because this is a puff sleeve, we need to do it the other way around. Okay? If you do it like this, this is our basic sleeve. We don't want to get a basic sleeve, but we want it to be a puff sleeve. Doing a puff sleeve is, first of all, for example, I would have just come here like this. For example, this is, let me take another chalk. Which chalk am I going to take? White? No. Okay. Now, doing it up like this, this is my normal sleeve. If I come down like this, is a normal sleeve. We want to do a puff sleeve, right? So what I'm going to do from this point up like this, let's just say I've added 7 inch, or let's see, I'm going to come here like this. I will measure my round armhole divided by 2. Then assuming that this is the straight point, we want to connect these points up like that with a straight line. I'm doing it up like this so you people should understand. Measure up whatever we have, divide it by 2. Let me do it up. When I'll cut the second one, then you can understand. Then we measure up whatever we have, divided by 2. This is because we are making a puff sleeve. That's why it's different. So it's gonna give me this point, go up here by 3/4 inch, come down here, measure up half. All right, now connect, come here and go in at least 3 inch from there, pass through that 1/2 inch, bring it up here, and then this allowance here that we have, we're going to be kneading that up. Now at this point, you want to choose how long you want your sleeve to be. For me, it's a half sleeve is short sleeve. Short sleeve is normally between 10 and 11, because let me add 2 inch to that, because we're going to be needing the elastic waistband, the band. My original sleeve is this one. This one was the basic one. This is my original sleeve. So I'm just going to go ahead and bring this point up like this. So look at how I'm going to be doing it. And when you're cutting it up, make sure that you add at least 1/2 inch to it. So this we're going to just gather it up at the downer part as well. All right. Then the other one, if you check, is I believe it is just a normal straight part that has been gathered together. Like I said, depending on how poppy you want it to be, you can make it more. The other one, which is this one, where's the part? Which is this one, one side of it. So simply what we want to do, this part here, is what we're going to be needing to, because we need to join this part up together. Okay, we're going to be joining it up together. So we're just going to go ahead and trace that up, and then we will take the length, which is actually let's just hit 12, including with this up. Then we'll draw a straight line, then connect that up. This is the little armhole that is going to come here. We'll join to the one side, this other side of the top. This is the little armhole that is going to join here, but this is going to also have an elastic, so we have to join. Yeah, we first of all have to hem this up. This part here is going to join up together. Okay, so this is our sleeve. We have to just gather it up like that. Okay, we first of all add up an elastic to it. We have to hold this part up, create our elastic casing, the tiny one, then hem the downer part too. We'll add it up. So the sewing, I'm going to leave it up like this. The sewing is going to be for tomorrow. This part, you see, this is our, see this part here. So we just gather it up for it to match, and then gather up the downer part of it as well. So I'm leaving just as it is right now. For tomorrow we're going to do the live stream of sewing, putting all the pieces together, adding up the zipper, so that the tutorial wouldn't be too long. Okay, make sure I pick all the pieces, because I'm like this. So I'm put it up. I may choose to add the lining to the skirt if I can get the lining tomorrow. may choose to add a line into it, but this fabric is it's good when you add line into it. It's more professional, you look more neat inside, right? So if you cannot add a line, it's no big deal. So let me just quickly go ahead, try to arrange my table up. Organize everything up, because so that tomorrow when I just come back, just start stitching. Okay. Okay. So, like I said, the sewing is going to be for tomorrow. I hope to see you. I hope to see you guys tomorrow. We hope to see you, because now it's late. Hope to see you guys tomorrow. Bye bye. Ciao ciao.